Good morning, brothers and sisters. I am in such joy right now, I cannot even explain. When I arrived to church, when I was 14, I arrived to church in Orlando, and God spoke to me about the English church. But I didn't understand it because at that time the church was small and it was Spanish. But I did think about my stepdad because he's American, and I will pray to God because it was only my mom and I coming to church. That is how a few years later, my stepdad was one of the first Americans to go to church in English, in the English service in Orlando. And that is when I actually truly started coming to church more often, because I didn't really come to church. It was mostly my mom. When the English church opened, that's when I really started coming, and somehow I felt so connected, and I prayed to God a lot, and I saw the transformation. Then I came to New York, and I was sad to see that there was not an English service. I had to get accustomed to the Spanish service, and it was beautiful too. But in my heart, I always prayed to God because I wanted that English service to be back. I saw how my stepdad was transformed. He wouldn't go to church in Spanish because of the headphones. He felt it wasn't the same. And I saw many of my brothers coming to church, and I wanted them to experience the same thing my stepdad did. And I thank the Lord that after all these years, that promise that He made that today was coming has been fulfilled. And I want to testify to give the honor and the glory to God.
Amen.
Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm sorry because I feel very emotional, and first of all, to hear all the brothers and sisters and their testimonies, I am so happy how the Lord manifests here in His home, in our home, just like everyone else. I have prayed so much to hear the church in English. Being of Spanish descent, I was born and raised here. My husband is American, also born and raised. And my husband has come here and there with me because he also didn't understand too much with the earphones, and I wish he could be here today with me. Unfortunately, he's not to experience this beautiful day today. The Lord has promised me many things in prophecy. He has also given me warnings. One of them being that the enemy was very upset with me because he sees how I have been dedicating of my heart and life to the Lord, and to listen and to understand Him and follow Him. And he did say that because of that, be careful of a car accident, not to worry, and to pray to Him that He will be with me. And I'm sorry. So this is how He said He will be with me. He will never allow the enemy to hurt one hair off my head. And this is how on Wednesday I experienced a horrible car accident. And this was so the Lord promised me 2 years ago. He blessed me with a car that I never thought I would have. And it was beautiful, and it was all because of the Lord. Wednesday I got into this car accident. It was a huge truck. All I know is that I saw this truck on me, and I thought it was going to be the end of my day. At that very moment, I prayed, and I asked the Lord to help me and be with me. I just screamed out, and that truck just came right on top. He hit me on the driver's side. My car caved in, the whole driver's side. My husband, I didn't see the cars until after the impact. I was taken ambulances, so was he. And my husband told me that this truck had a lot more damage than I did, and so did the driver. He was bleeding everywhere profusely. I did not bleed. I'm very painful. My head, I'm still going through a lot of the trauma. But nothing, like he said, not even a hair out of place. I'm here today. The first thing I did was I grabbed my daughters and I hugged them and I said, God, thank you. You give us warnings. He's given me so many promises that he has allowed me to see, and the English church is one of them that he mentioned that I will be seeing, experiencing in my native language. And just being here today just fills me with so much joy, and I want to testify and give the glory and honor that God is here. This is his home, it's our home, and I am so happy to see it grow, and I can't wait to see it grow so much more here in our native English language. Glory to the Lord.
Amen. Glory to the Lord.
Good morning. God bless everyone.
Amen.
Obviously the father of Nicholas, one of the twins. I just want to share how I arrived at the church. Thank you. Me and her mother raised them Catholic. That back then, that's the way our parents raised us. And we got confused a little bit, didn't understand it. And so we pulled our children out of church. And lo and behold, our sons started congregating at the Church of God. And I got a phone call from their mother and said, you need to go to that church and find out what's going on. There's some kind of cult that's got our sons convinced of some sort of whatever it is. So being a good father I was, I went to Dover and I sat there and being optimistic, looking around, trying to figure everything out. I decided to receive prophecy also. And the prophecy was this. Your sons are going to preach in their native tongue. And back then it was only Spanish because I had the headphone also. So I was confused by all this, but still trying to absorb all this. And God also made me a promise saying someday you'll look in the mirror and not recognize yourself. This is also true to this day. But the most important I wanted to mention was about dreams also. My sister recently just passed away, and it was a 3-week span where she was in a hospital, and I was really struggling with my faith at that time. Obviously, for good reasons. And I kept, every night I get on the knees and say, God, please, why her? Please help me with this. Lo and behold, the night before she died, I had a dream. And the dream was my sister was standing outside the house and she had that smile on her face. It wasn't the same woman I was looking at the hospital in the bed. And it gave me this comfort that I just realized. And I remember going to the hospital to say goodbye to her. And I remember talking to her fiance and then telling him, God really exists. I just had a dream. It's real, because I was still questioning things. And more importantly, probably about a month ago, in prophecy, I received that it was time for my twin sons to split. And I'm like, oof, they've been together their entire life. Everything we've done is them two together. And it was about this. It was about this church opening, because they did say that one of your sons is going to go to a different state. And I'm sitting here just at awe, because I didn't think this was going to happen. I'm sitting here, and it did happen. So I want to share with you, God is real. Amen. And if you believe in it, just keep looking, and he'll show himself. So, amen.